Hi guys, Marika here with another card tutorial. Today I'm working with some Little Miss Muffet stamps, these adorable raccoons. There is 3 or 4 raccoons, different raccoons you can find. I printed these out on some Make It Crafty blending paper. I have links in the description below for all the materials, including a link to where you can find this paper if you want to use it. When I printed them out, I actually have rotated this little character so that I can kind of build a scene with the 3 of them sort of facing each other except for the middle one. For the color scheme, I'm trying to work with some neutrals and some pop of color. That is usually how I try to use colors. I really like having a lot of neutrals together to make the card sort of a neutral version of it. The colors I'm using is the BV20s for my first little raccoon. So this is BV29. It's just the same. It's the whole series except for the first 20. That was just kind of mapping out where I wanted my shadows. I never actually ended up using it because I kind of like the darkness of my little raccoon. This is my favorite of the purples when it comes to the neutral tones of purples. At it is almost more a grey than a purple. I did choose to use the toner grays, and one of the reasons is because I wanted the blue to pop a little bit, and if I went for a colder gray, it wouldn't pop as much as cold grays have a bluish undertone. And also I didn't want to go with a warm gray because that would make it a little bit more muddy than I wanted it to be. So that is the reason why I've chose the toner grays in this project. However, you could use whichever gray you want. In my case, I just used that I had it in my stash and I wanted to get that purple to pop a little bit. For my second raccoon, I'm using my absolute favorite orange, foxy orange. This is also one of my favorite color schemes when I do red hair. So I'm using some earth tones, the E18 and E09, which is going to be my darkest tones. And then I'm using some yellow reds, the YR18 and the YR16. You might have seen that I actually used the YR14 to kind of get the shadows in. But when I started coloring him, I kind of figured that I didn't really want him to be that super light. So instead I chose to just fill the last of the light parts in with my YR60. So that is a way to work also, to pick out more pens than you're going to use and then just play around with them. That is how I work many times. And with these tones, one of the things you can think about, which I didn't do here, but usually when I do colors and then going in and having light areas, I try to do the light areas first because I am really clumsy, and if you accidentally pull your gray markers into the orange part, you will pull orange color out over the image. This time I didn't do that, happily enough, but usually I try to use the lighter colors first. For the third and final little raccoon, I'm actually doing what I just said that I usually do, and that is adding my grays first. This mostly because I wanted to map them out. I wasn't sure where I wanted them. This is also my favorite raccoon out of them, just because I didn't add shadows to the nose. I felt that I made too many shadows on the noses of the other 2 raccoons, and this kind of made him look a little bit more innocent. I'm using my E40s People who have seen my videos for a while know that I love my E40s. They are my favorite just because they are very, very neutral brown. They are almost to a grayish tonish brown, which makes you can use the E40s basically everywhere. This is why I use them, because I really, really like the tone. That it has a little bit of a yellow undertone also is kind of beautiful. For all my raccoons, I'm actually cutting them out. You could use your silhouette or anything, but I kind of like doing my own cutting. And I just want to show you, this is actually the natural speed that I cut out my images. So I do very slow cutting. So no stress cutting, just sitting there and slowly just moving the paper around to do my cuts with my Copic scissors. For my sentiment, I'm going to use this Friends die by MFT Stamps, and I'm letting the die sit in the paper, and then I'm just going to do some ombre coloring onto those. And I'm actually using the same colors that I did on my raccoons, and I'm positioning them in the way I'm going to position my raccoons on my finished card. So after doing that, I'm scoring my card base. This is a standard A2 card base, so it's 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4.25. And then I carefully fill out the letters out of that paper, and you see how beautiful that ombre effect is. I'm using some Tombow Monomulti at the back side of my die. I love using liquid dyes when I have these very nice, very thin sentiment dyes, because then if I get them a little bit crooked, I can always move them around a little bit. And also I love my little tweezers because they make positioning things very easy, because then my clumsy fingers don't come in the way when I kind of know where I want to put my things. So for the last part, for that little eye, I'm just adding the glue directly to the paper instead of the little die, and then I just add the die on top. I don't know why, but it's a little bit easier. For the little raccoons, I'm using some 3M Scotch foam tape on the back side, and on the middle one I actually just have a little strip in the middle, and this is because I'm going to put these little raccoons, the bigger raccoons, I put on each side so that they will go up to the edge of the card base. Everything is done directly on the card base today. And then I'm taking that little raccoon in the middle, and now I can move it side to side, and I can kind of figuring out where I want it to sit in relation to the other two raccoons. So due to me printing out a little bit bigger than I thought, they started overlapping, but I kind of like the end result that it did overlap. But that is the card for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like it, please thumbs it up, it means a lot to me, and share it with your friends. If you have any questions, just comment down below. Down below you find all the details of the card. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!